And we're back with another video. So, here we go. The WHO, all of a sudden the president got out of there. All of a sudden we can't get information anymore because it's a world health crisis. But because America decided to leave the Antichrist Rapist Child Molesters Group and Antichrist globalist organization, now all of a sudden, right, the people that are supposed to be concerned about the world health, right, will not give America information because we are not part of that no more, and we don't donate the most money anymore, right? So that right there in itself should let you know where these people stand, right? There is no world health anything. This is just nothing but the WEF and their stupidity and their bullshit, right? So now everybody knew, right? And now all of a sudden, every time there's going to be voting, anytime anything like that comes up or anything that the globalists cannot fight physically, they right away come out with their little bioweapons and they just released another one into the world, right? Now, they've been telling us that this was coming because they knew they were going to do it, and like we knew that this was going to happen again, right? Now they're going to wait and see what we're going to do. Well, here's the big thing. The thing about America is that America don't want to hear it anymore. We know exactly what it is. So if you want to end all these viruses and all these COVIDs, then you got to end the globalists. It's the only way to stop this shit. What part of that don't people understand? I mean, it's a really simple concept, right? At this point, if you haven't figured out what's going on in this world and who our true enemies are, then you're an idiot. Still jumping around talking about, oh, it's the left, it's the right, it's the conservative, it's the liberals, it's the... Nope. None of that is the problem here. The real problem is the globalists that keep releasing weapons to kill us as a people. And guess who they kill? They target everybody. Even you fools that are out there marching around for them. Even you that are so stupid that you can't understand that concept right there, that you're being played big time. So now we're in the middle of all this bullshit, right? And we're back to the bullshit with the play. And that ain't nothing. If this one don't kill enough people or this don't get out of control, they'll release a bigger one on you. You understand? These viruses and all this shit is just not human. You understand? And if it is, like the rat thing and all that, they always find a way to make it jump from person to person because this is what they do. They're murderers, they're killers, they're mass killers, they're genocidal people. This is what they do. Now, see, this is the part that I've always been pissed off about with our government, especially the United States, because we're the only ones capable of taking the globalists down and taking these people and just justice, bring them in, grab them, go in there, get them with the military, pull them out of there, bring them to America, put them all in front of a big time military tribunal and do what you got to do with them, which we won't care which way you go with that at this point. These people are nothing but problems to our world. They're problems to our health. They're issues to our newborn children. They're issues to our food. They're issues to our inflations. They're issues to our contaminations. They are doing all this shit to our world, but we can't see this because we're too blinded arguing with each other, right? But we can't understand none of this. Now we have these other issues like, the Muslims getting out of control, wanting to fight with the Jews and all this other bullshit in this state and in that state, all this shit. Now you got the Jews out there practicing their Second Amendment and all this other bullshit. You see, we let these people bring that mess into this country. You understand? And now we have to deal with some shit that these people have been dealing with for thousands of years that never ends, and the world will die. Every living creature on the earth will die, and they will still be at war. Do you understand that? So this is why we as Americans need to understand and realize why we can't get involved in every war and in everything that's going on around the world, because some things are just meant for us to stay the hell out of. Not because we can't eliminate it, not because we can't deal with it, but because we should mind our business at certain points, because we cannot change other people's mentalities, all right? Both of these groups want to dominate the world. Israel and the Muslims, both of them want to conquer the world. And because of that, they're constantly killing each other. It's that simple. It's not even that complicated. This is all religious shit. This is all man bullshit. This is all, one group wanting to dominate. One wants to take over the whole Middle East. The other one doesn't. The other one wants to make, dominate the whole world because their religion is boss and the other group is no, you can't do that. We're the boss. And you know what? Work it out. Work it out over there in the Middle East, man. We just need to keep the hell out of this. I've told you this a million times. And if we continue on being involved in these things, we're going to be in trouble just like them. And they're going to drag us down just like them. And we're going to live in mud huts just like them because we don't listen. You understand? And you know what? A lot of people have this whole thing, where things are about racism. And no, man, this is just the reality of it. You understand? This is a reality. It's like people say, oh, you anti-Semite because you don't. No, man. Listen, facts. Here's some facts. The wars with these people have been going on for thousands of years since the beginning of mankind. Fact. They will never come to an agreement. Fact. These people will continue to kill each other for the rest of our lifetimes, because if it's done it since the beginning and it's still doing it now, it'll be to the end. Fact. Now, what do we have to do with that? Nothing. We weren't even in existence as a country while these people have been beefing with these problems for all their whole lives. Fact. So why are we in that? Can we convince the Muslim people to turn Christian? Never going to happen. Fact. Why are we dealing with these people? Contrary, they're here telling you that now you got to do what they say, and the other group too. They're like ticks. They get in and they keep sucking your blood until they kill you. That's it. And you know what? And all that bullshit about racism and all that, forget about all that. I don't got time for smokescreens and lies of the media, and I ain't got time for you globalist pieces of shit out there that are warmongers that can't wait to kill this, that. So all this that I've said on my past videos over and over and over, even though people don't listen and don't want to understand these things, they are happening and they continue to happen. And I told you this other weapon was coming, and they released another bioweapon, and this is just going to go on and on and on, because this is the way. And why? And how do you know that is them? They're already using it as an angle. You know what I mean? They're already using it as an angle. Oh, you can't give the United States any information on that. This is the World Health. If you were so concerned about the World Health, you wouldn't have made a statement like that or even said something like that. But you did, and that's what puts you out there to let the rest of the world know what a piece of shit this whole group is and what they are. They expose themselves. You don't even have to go out there doing too much research or none of that or need a PhD to realize what's going on. You understand? So now this is one of those things as if, let's say, now you got to think to yourself, right? Big Pharma is owned by the globalists and elitists, the same people that release all these things and kill people, right? So then here's the thing. Their thing is, we'll release a chemical biowarfare on your ass, right? And we're the only ones that got the cure. So being that they're releasing bioweapons on the world, I think we should deal with them as terrorists, don't you think? Don't you think that by now the United States should look at the WHO, the elitist globalists, and Big Pharma as terrorists murdering people? That's what they do, because that's exactly what they're doing right now, right? You think we don't know that there's cures for cancer? Fuck yeah, we know that. Even the Epstein files told you that. And right away, all of a sudden, these cancer cures came out real quick. You know why? Because they've been holding on to that. What part of that? Now, we know these things to be true. This is not speculation. This is not me accusing anybody of things that are not true. These things are real, and these things are really happening. My only problem with it is, why haven't we taken that cabal down? I don't know. It's always been my top question, why the United States is so worried about these people. I have no idea. I can't even believe it. And, and like I said, I think we should just move in on the globalists and on the elitists and corporations. I told you this before. If you don't take them down, they're going to kill everybody. They're going to bring this world all the way to a nuclear war. And if that's what they have to do and nuke this planet, right, and cause people to fight with each other until they nuke the planet so they can go hide underground, and then they can come out later on, who knows, 10, 20 years later, and start a whole new world. But all of us that are out here arguing with each other, dead. You're being killed right now, slowly, with your food, with your candies, with your juices, with your sodas, with your water, with your fluoride, with this, that. You're being killed slowly right now by them. Food industry, Big Pharma, on and on and on. And now let's drop a bomb on them and let's just release a nuclear a nuclear bioweapon on them and give them something to think about. Let's see how many die this time around. And let's see. So the next thing that's going to happen is that right away, the assholes that have no brain, right? We got to put on a mask. No, what we got to do is get out in the streets and say, take the globalists down and stop the bioweapons from being released so that we could stop dying as people. That's what the fuck we need to do. But nope, that's not going to happen. You know what's going to happen? The globalists is already playing the people, and they're going to start with the mass shit again, and they're going to start with all that. Everything but taking care of the real problem. Why do you think we're going to why do you think we're going to face another bioweapon like we're facing it right now? Because we didn't take care of it the first time. Yeah, they ran a test with that bioweapon to see what people would do. And this is what we should have done. We should have known the first time, oh, these people killed us like that and they did that. Let's take them down and end these bastards. But they didn't do that. So guess what? They'll do it again. And they just did it again. And what are you going to do? What you going to do? What are you going to do about it? Nothing. You're going to do nothing. You know what you're going to do? You're going to run around here, act like a dumbass, and you're going to run around parading, talking about put your mask on. Like the dumb shit that you are because you ain't got no sense. And there you go. So anyway, that's my rant for today because that's the hot news and the topic today. And let's just see where this is going to go. But all this shit that I've ever talked about, anything that happens from here on out, you'll see that no matter what the new thing going on, the new piece of news that came out, the new thing that happened, everything that comes out, if you go to my channel or my page and you look at my videos, I've already spoken about all this shit coming out. You know why I know these things are going to come out? It's not that I'm a Mastradamus. It's that common sense tells me that these people are constantly just repeating their same shit over and over. So once they do it once, they wait a little while, a year or two, and then they do it again. They wait 2 or 3 years, then they do it again, on and on and on. It just never ends because they feel you too stupid to catch on, so they'll keep doing it. So anyway, God bless America. Today is a special day for moms. Happy Mother's Day to all the loving mothers out there that without you guys, we wouldn't even exist. Thank you very much. God bless you guys. And God bless America. And I pray to God that we as a people and as a nation start waking up and realizing that we're under attack and we're under siege. And they're attacking us from all angles, from invading our country, to bioweapons, to poisonous foods, poisonous waters, to poisonous medications, to poisonous vaccines. Dude, these dudes are just killing us. We need to wake up and get together. We need to get up. We need to wake up, man. I told you, put our differences aside right now. We could talk about all that later. Let's just take down the devil and his crew first. And then once that's eliminated, then we could talk amongst each other about fixing everything else that we're having problems with, that we don't agree with. And we'll talk about that then. But at least we'll be alive to talk about it. At least we'll be healthy to talk about it to each other. And at least we'll still be free as a country to talk to each other without being murdered because we turned into a communist country because we stood divided. And now you can't speak your mind, just like anywhere, like in China and Cuba, where you'll be dead. You'll be unalived if you talk about anything because you have no freedom of speech and that kind of thing. So let's get past the stupid shit so that we can deal with what we have to later. Anyway, with that, God bless America. To the next video.